The rain-slick streets of Seattle gleamed like shattered glass under the relentless downpour, and as I jolted awake in my cramped hotel bed for the 100th time, I knew with bone-deep certainty that today would end in blood. Not mine, not yet, but Jordan's spilled across the cold tile of that godforsaken conference center bathroom, his eyes wide with betrayal as the knife slipped from my trembling hand. I had tried everything to stop it. Warnings whispered in coffee shops, desperate pleas in crowded halls, even chaining myself to the hotel radiator until my wrist bled raw. But the day looped back, merciless, forcing me to watch him die over and over, all because of the secret I'd buried deeper than my own heartbeat. The truth that I loved him, had always loved him, and that love was the only key to breaking this curse. By noon, the loop had worn me thin, my reflection in the fogged mirror a ghost of stubble and hollow cheeks. Seattle's tech conference buzzed outside my window, a hive of innovation and ambition where Jordan thrived like a king among drones. We'd reconnected here by chance, or fate's cruel joke. Two old friends from a dusty Oregon town, now worlds apart. He was the golden boy, 28 and climbing, his startup pitch drawing venture capitalists like moths to flame. I was Riley, 29, scraping by as a freelance graphic designer, my portfolio a patchwork of unfulfilled dreams. But seeing him again after 5 years, it cracked something open in me, a fissure wide enough to spill the words I'd choked back since we were kids stealing kisses under the bleachers, pretending it was just horseplay. I dressed in the same rumpled button-down, the one stained with yesterday's, no today's, coffee spill, and headed to the market. The air hummed with the scent of fresh salmon and blooming tulips, vendors hawking their wares in that rhythmic Pacific Northwest cadence. Jordan was there, as always, grabbing his usual black Americano from the corner stall, his green eyes scanning his phone for the next deal. "Riley," he called, spotting me through the crowd, his smile punching through the gray like a rogue sunbeam. He pulled me into a hug that lingered a beat too long, his cologne, cedar and sea salt, wrapping around me like a promise he didn't know he was making. "Man, it's good to see you. Feels like high school all over again." We wandered the stalls, the rain easing to a drizzle that dotted our shoulders. He talked fast, animated, about his fiancée, Lena, sharp, ambitious, the kind of woman who matched his drive. She's back in Portland, closing a merger. But tonight, after the keynote, we're celebrating. You should come. His hand clapped my shoulder, firm and familiar, igniting that old fire in my chest. I nodded, throat tight, because every loop started this way. Easy camaraderie masking the storm. By evening, at the gala in the conference center's grand ballroom, the air thick with clinking glasses and whispered negotiations, that's when it unraveled. Lena arrived, radiant in red, but not alone. Her shadow, a rival investor named Harlan, lurked with eyes like knives, jealousy festering from a deal gone sour. I tried to warn him this time, pulling Jordan aside near the dessert table. "There's something off about Harlan. Stay away from the East Wing bathrooms after your speech." My voice cracked, urgent, but he just laughed it off, ruffling my hair like I was still the scrawny kid he'd protected from bullies. "You're paranoid, Ree. Lighten up. This is our night." His speech was electric, the room erupting as he unveiled his app, a revolution in sustainable energy tracking. Applause thundered, and in the chaos, he slipped away to congratulate Lena, vanishing toward the East Wing. I followed, heart hammering, the marble floors echoing my footsteps. The bathroom door swung open to horror. Harlan's silhouette over Jordan, a glint of steel, Lena's scream slicing the air as blood pooled dark and accusing. "You stole everything from me." Harlan snarled, but it was too late. Jordan slumped, eyes locking on mine in that final, bewildered instant. "Why, Ree? Why didn't you tell me?" Then darkness, and the loop reset, dragging me back to the hotel bed, the rain mocking my failure. That night, or was a morning, I broke. Curled on the scratchy sheets, sobs racking my body, I whispered the truth to the empty room. "I love you, Jordan. God, I love you so much it hurts. But words to shadows meant nothing. Dawn came, and I rose determined. This loop, I'd forced the confession early. At the market, over steaming lattes, I gripped his arm. Jordan, listen. There's something I need to say. His brow furrowed, playful concern etching lines around his eyes. Shoot, man. We're brothers. The words stuck like thorns. We've always been more than that. To me, anyway. Silence stretched, his face paling as understanding dawned. What? But the crowd surged, a vendor's cart toppling, and the moment shattered. By gala time, the murder played out unchanged. Harlan's rage, a scripted tragedy. Reset. Loops blurred into agony. 50 times 100, I lost count. I sabotaged Harlan's flight, planted evidence in his hotel room, even confronted Lena with fabricated affairs. Nothing stuck. The day rewound, pristine and punitive. Jordan died in variations, stabbed, poisoned from a tainted drink, pushed downstairs in a freak accident. Each death etched deeper, his final gasps a litany of my unspoken love. I aged in spirit, my hands shaking as I sketched frantic designs on napkins, flowcharts of the day's timeline, please scrawled in marker on my arms. Seattle's fog mirrored my mind, thick and unyielding. One loop, desperation peaked. I cornered Jordan in the hotel lobby at midnight, or what passed for it before reset, tears streaming. You're going to die tonight, unless you believe me. I love you. I've hidden it since we were 17, scared you'd walk away like everyone else. He stared, cup on my face, thumb brushing my cheek. Riley, you're scaring me. Is this some breakdown? A kiss, impulsive, his lips soft against mine, tasting of whiskey and what-ifs. For a heartbeat, the world held. Fireworks in my veins, the loop cracking like thin ice. But Dawn yanked me back, the kiss a phantom ache. Exhaustion bred recklessness. I skipped the market, stormed the conference early, hacking Jordan's presentation with my design skills to expose Harlan's embezzlement. Chaos erupted, sirens, arrests. But Jordan still found his way to the East Wing, curiosity or fate drawing him to a planted note. Stabbed again, his blood on my hands as I cradled him. Why? Hide it, he gasped. Tell me. Everything. Reset, his words a noose. By loop 200, I was unraveling. Sleepless, I roamed Seattle's underbelly, the neon-lit dives of Capitol Hill, where queer bars pulsed with bass and possibility. Strangers' arms offered fleeting solace, but their faces morphed to Jordan's in the haze, guilt twisting pleasure to poison. You're trapped because of me, I muttered to my reflection in a puddle. The human value gnawed. Love wasn't possession, it was release. Yet how to free us both? A breakthrough flickered in loop 250. During the gala, instead of chasing shadows, I danced with Jordan, slow, under the chandelier's glow, Lena watching with arched brow. Remember prom? I murmured, our bodies sinking like old times. He chuckled, breath warm on my neck. You and that ridiculous bow tie. Yeah. The song ended. He pulled back, eyes searching. About earlier. I felt it too back then. But life, Lena, the company. Heartbreak, raw and real. That night, Harlan struck, but Jordan fought back, a graze instead of fatal. Alarm blared, police swarmed. As medics wheeled him away, he grabbed my hand. Don't hide anymore. Promise. Reset came, but softer, the loop's grip loosening like frayed rope. Hope ignited. I refined. Confess, bond, arm him with truth. Loops 300 onward became rehearsals, stolen moments in rain-kissed alleys, kisses deepening from tentative to fervent, confessions layering like Seattle strata. I hid because I couldn't lose you, I'd say, and he'd echo, you won't. Not now. Lena faded to periphery, her merger a distant echo. Harlan's threat? We dismantled it together. Anonymous tips, forged alibis, turning predator to prey. Yet the curse clung, resets brutalizing until loop 499. The gala peaked, Jordan's speech soared, our eyes locking across the room, a silent vow. East wing. Harlan lunged, knife flashing, but Jordan sidestepped, my warnings etched in his muscle memory. A struggle, fist shouts, ended with Harlan pinned, Lena bursting in, phone dialing 911. No blood. Dawn approached, not as reset but promise. We stood on the hotel balcony, city lights sprawling below, rain a gentle curtain. The truth set us free, Jordan whispered, his ring discarded in the night. Our lips met, unhurried, the world unfolding anew. Seattle breathed, and so did we, lovers, finally, in a day that stretched eternal. The first true morning after the break dawned crisp, Seattle's skyline, piercing a sky bruised purple by fading night. Jordan stirred beside me, his bare shoulder warm against mine. The hotel sheets tangled like the loops we'd escaped. No reset yanked me away. Instead, his green eyes fluttered open, meeting mine with a sleepy smile that mended fractures I'd forgotten I carried. "Morning, Ree," he murmured, voice husky from the night's confessions, his fingers tracing lazy circles on my chest. It was real, tangible, unlooked, yet echoes lingered, ghosts of deaths and denials whispering doubts in my ear. Had I truly shattered the cycle, or was this just a cruel interlude before the knife fell again? We rose slowly, bodies rediscovering each other in the soft light, filtering through rain-streaked windows. Breakfast in bed, stale conference croissants, and room service coffee. Tasted of victory, laced with the urgency of survivors. Jordan propped on an elbow, studying me with that intensity that always unraveled me. "Tell me everything, from the beginning." So I did, words tumbling like the cascade outside. The first loop's horror, Harlan's blade, the endless retries where I'd bartered my sanity for his life. His face shifted, shocked to sorrow, to fierce resolve, as I confessed the root, the hidden truth. Our childhood summers in Oregon, fireflies winking as we'd sneak away from family barbecues, hands brushing in the tall grass, hearts racing with questions neither dared voice. "I thought it was puppy love," I said, voice cracking. But it grew, Jordan, into this monster I fed in silence, terrified you'd choose the straight path, the safe one. He cupped my face, thumb grazing the scar from a loop where I'd smashed a mirror in rage. "I chose wrong paths plenty. Lena, she was ambition in heels, a mirror to my ego. But you've always been home." His kiss sealed it, deep and anchoring, chasing shadows from the corners. We dressed. Him in a crisp button-down for the conference wrap-up, me in jeans and a hoodie that smelled faintly of market fish, and stepped into the day, hands brushing as if testing fate's generosity. The conference center thrummed with post-gala energy, panels wrapping in a blur of handshakes and business cards. Harlan was in custody, his scheme unraveled by the evidence we'd planted across loops. Digital trails I'd forged in fevered all-nighters. Tips whispered to security in alternate realities that somehow bled through. Lena approached us in the lobby, her red dress from last night traded for power slacks, expression a mask of calculated calm. "Jordan, we need to talk." Her eyes flicked to me, assessing, the air thickening with unspoken accusations. He squeezed my hand, visible now, defiant. "Not we anymore, Lena. It's over." Her laugh was sharp, a scalpel. "Because of him, your little artist sidekick." The word stung, dredging insecurities from looped graves, but Jordan's arm around my waist steadied me. "Riley's not sidekick. He's the reason I'm standing here, alive and whole." She recoiled, venom flashing. "You think this changes anything? Your board, the investors, they'll crucify you for this. Scandal." But Jordan stood taller, voice steel. "Let them. Authenticity's the real pitch." She stormed off, heels echoing judgment, leaving us in a bubble of charged silence. Outside, under the relentless drizzle, we walked to Pike Place, the market a riot of color against the gray. Vendors remembered us, or thought they did, from phantom loops, offering free samples with winks. Jordan bought tulips, crimson and defiant, tucking one behind my ear. For the guy who saved my life 1,000 times. Laughter bubbled up, genuine, easing the knot in my chest. We shared salmon rolls on a bench overlooking the sound, ferries cutting white wakes through choppy waves. He talked dreams, scaling his app globally but with heart, not just hustle. I sketched on a napkin, visualizing interfaces that wove sustainability with stories, our ideas intertwining like roots. Afternoon brought the first crack in our idol. A call from his Portland office, whispers of fallout, investors pulling strings, Lena's merger collapsing in a storm of leaks. Jordan's jaw tightened, phone clutched like a grenade. "It's starting," he said, voice low. I pulled him close, rain mingling with our breath. We face it together. No more hiding. But doubt crept, insidious. The loops had taught me fragility, how one slip could rewind everything to blood and regret. That evening, we dined at a Capitol Hill bistro, candlelight dancing on exposed brick, the hum of queer couples a balm to old wounds. Jordan's foot nudged mine under the table, a secret Morse code of affection. Over wine, he shared his own buried truths. College flings with guys, dismissed as experiments, the ache of our drifted friendship, filled with safe choices that left him hollow. I had two, for myself. Our hands linked across the table, rings of promise, unspoken. Dessert arrived, chocolate torte, rich and indulgent, and with it, a shadow at the door. A reporter, notebook in hand, eyes gleaming with scandal's hunger. "Jordan Hale?" A word on the engagement fallout. Flashbulbs popped, questions barraging like rain on tin. We fled into the night, hearts pounding, Seattle's streets a labyrinth of neon and narrow escapes. In an alley, breathless, Jordan kissed me fiercely against cool brick. "Worth it," he gasped. "All of it." But as we tumbled into a cab, my mind raced. Echoes of loops where exposure led to isolation, where love's light drew knives from the dark. Back at the hotel, tangled in sheets, we made love with the urgency of the damned, slow explorations giving way to frenzy, bodies mapping forgiveness. His whispers, "I see you, Riley." All of you, drowned doubts, but sleep brought dreams. Harlan's ghost, blade raised, Lena's laugh a siren's call. Dawn found me awake, Jordan's head on my chest, the city stirring below. Freedom tasted sweet, but fragile, a single thread in a tapestry of trials yet to come. Weeks blurred into a tentative rhythm after Seattle, our looped nightmare receding like a tide, leaving shells of what-ifs on the shore. Jordan and I relocated to a loft in Portland, his compromise, closer to his unraveling empire but laced with Oregon's quiet wilds, where we'd first fumbled toward truth. The space was raw, exposed beams, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the Willamette River's lazy curve, my sketches pinned to walls like battle flags. At 29, I felt reborn, fingers flying over my tablet, designing campaigns that infused Jordan's app with soul, user stories of everyday heroes combating climate despair. He, at 28, paced boardrooms with renewed fire, pitching authenticity as his North Star, green eyes alight with the love we'd unearthed. Mornings were sanctuary, coffee brewing as rain pattered the tin roof, Jordan's lips brushing my temple before he dashed to meetings. "Love you, he'd murmur, a talisman against the world's grind. Evenings, we'd cook, burnt stir-fries yielding to takeout laughter, then collapse on the couch, his head in my lap as I read aloud from dog-eared sci-fi, our fingers laced like lifelines. Intimacy bloomed, unhurried. Lazy Sundays tracing freckles across his back, whispers of futures woven in the dark. Yet the loop's scar tissue itched, nightmares jolting me awake, sweat-soaked, convinced I'd blink and find blood on the sheets. The first real storm hit in month 2, a Category 5 of ambition and doubt. Jordan's startup teetered, investors fleeing the distraction of our coming out. Late nights stretched, his laptop's glow casting hollow shadows on his face. They want the old Jordan, straight, single, sellable. He confessed one midnight, head in hands. I knelt before him, tilting his chin. They get the real one, or nothing. His kiss was desperate, a clash of need and fear, but dawn brought emails, rejections piling like indictments. Lena's ghost loomed too, texts veiled as concern, laced with barbs. He's using you to cope. Run while you can. I pushed back with art, launching a viral campaign. User testimonials, raw and romantic, framing sustainability as love, for Earth, for each other. It caught fire online, queer influencers amplifying our story, turning scandal to symphony. Jordan's eyes sparkled at the metrics, pulling me into a spin around the loft. You're my secret weaponry. But victory soured when Harlan, out on bail, surfaced in tabloids, smearing Jordan as unstable, me as the jealous ex who'd orchestrated his downfall. Paranoia crept, loops echoes warning of blades in the dark. We escaped to the coast one weekend. Cannon Beach's Haystack Rocks sentinel against crashing waves. Hand in hand along the surf, salt spray stinging, Jordan proposed, not with rings but words. Build this life with me. No more loops, no more hiding. Tears mixed with sea mist. I nodded, heart swelling. That night, in a driftwood cabin, we loved under stars, peeking through clouds, bodies a testament to resilience. But dawn brought a call. Arson at the Portland office, servers fried, Harlan's prints on the accelerant can. Rage boiled, but Jordan's hand on mine cooled it. We rebuild. Together. Police grilled us, suspicion flickering. My looped knowledge too prescient, whispers of how did you know? I stonewalled, truth too wild for skeptics. Lena visited then, uninvited, perched on our couch like a raven. He's destroying you both, she said, eyes on me. Leave now, Riley. Save yourself. Jordan ejected her, door slamming finality, but her words burrowed, doubt's seed sprouting in quiet moments. Month 3, deep in the fray. Jordan's app pivoted, open source now, community-driven, drawing allies from unexpected quarters. Queer coders, eco-activists, a chorus amplifying our voice. We attended Pride in Seattle, rainbows clashing with drizzle, hands raised in unity. Strangers cheered our story, but crowds triggered me. Flashes of gala chaos, phantom knives. Jordan sensed it, pulling me to a quiet pier. You're safe. We're safe. His embrace grounded, love a bulwark. Yet cracks widened. Sleepless, I sketched obsessively. Timelines of our loops, what-ifs branching like lightning. Jordan found them one dawn, brow furrowing. Still trapped in your head? Hurt laced his tone, a mirror to my fears. We argued, voices rising over breakfast, me accusing withdrawal, him pleading space for the fight. I can't lose you to ghosts, he shouted. Silence fell. Heavy, I stormed out, wandering Portland's bridges, river below, a tempting abyss. Reconciliation came at dusk, Jordan waiting on our stoop, tulips wilting in his fist. I hid my fears too, scared this love's too fragile for the world. We talked till stars wheeled, truths bared like wounds aired to heal. That night, passion reignited, slow and sacred, reaffirming bonds. But Harlan's trial loomed, a specter dredging pain. Subpoenaed, I relived loops in sterile courtrooms. Testimony twisted, my intuitions painted as obsession. Jordan testified fierce, our love a shield. Verdict guilty. Relief washed, but scars lingered, trust frayed, intimacy tentative. As autumn leaves turned Portland gold, we planned a vow renewal on the coast, inviting friend from fractured pasts. Jordan's hand in mine felt eternal, yet I whispered to the wind, don't loop back. Love's value crystallized, not perfection, but persistence through storms. Winter clamped Portland in icy jaws, frost etching fractals on our loft windows, mirroring the intricate dance of our healing. Jordan and I, now 6 months into this unlooped life, navigated with cautious grace, therapy sessions twice weekly, where a soft-spoken counselor named Mira unpacked our traumas like fragile heirlooms. The loops where your psyche's cry for honesty, she'd say, her voice a steady current. At 29, I leaned into vulnerability, journaling fever dreams where days reset mid-kiss, waking to Jordan's reassuring snore. He, 28 and battle-hardened, channeled fury into code, his app evolving into a beacon for marginalized makers. Queer devs building green tech from garages. Holidays tested us. His family in Oregon, conservative roots tangled with tentative acceptance, invited us for Christmas, a minefield of traditions and side-eyes. Driving the winding highway, Willamette Valley dusted white, Jordan's knuckles whitened on the wheel. They'll love you, Ree, or learn to. Dinner unfolded in awkward warmth. His mother's pecan pie a peace offering, father's gruff toast skirting politics. Under the tree, he'd gifted me a custom tablet, etched with Break the Loop. Tears pricked. I gave him a leather-bound sketchbook, pages filled with visions of our future. Homes with gardens, kids with his eyes, and my laugh. New Year's brought revelry in Portland's Pearl District, fireworks blooming over the river as we kissed at midnight, champagne bubbles effervescing hope. But euphoria cracked when Lena resurfaced, a congratulatory email linked to an article painting our story as tabloid tragedy. See, you're his downfall. Doubt slithered, old loops whispering failure. Jordan deleted it, pulling me close. She's noise. Your signal. Spring thawed defenses. Our app launching beta to acclaim. Downloads surging. Features spotlighting user romances. Sustainable dates under city lights. We celebrated at a rooftop gala. Ironic echo of Seattle's doom. Dressed sharp. Me in slim chinos. Him in velvet blazer. We danced, bodies fluid in the crowd's embrace. A venture capitalist approached, older man with silver fox charm, eyes lingering on Jordan. Impressive pivot, ditching the fiancé for this. Smirk dripped condescension. Jordan's arm tightened around me, ditching pretense for truth. Care to invest? The man backed off, but venom lingered, stirring my insecurities. Am I anchor or albatross? Therapy deepened. Mira guided role plays, me voicing looped deaths, Jordan absorbing the weight. I died for you 1,000 times, I'd say, voice breaking. He'd hold me, tears sinking, and I'd live for you 1,000 more. Intimacy flourished. Picnics in Forest Park, trails winding through fern-choked woods, where we'd pause to make love against mossy trunks, earth grounding our fervor. But summer scorched cracks wide. Harlan appealed his conviction, dredging depositions that twisted my testimony into delusional fixation. Media frenzy reignited, headlines screaming tech tycoons' gay obsession. The real story? Protests erupted outside our loft, pickets waving signs of moral decay. Jordan shielded me, but isolation gnawed. Friends distanced, whispers of too much drama. We fled to Seattle for solace. Pike Place a time capsule of our genesis. Under market awnings, Jordan knelt amid tulip stalls. Marry me, Riley. For real, forever. Ring simple. Platinum band etched with coordinates of our first kiss. Slipped on my finger, world blurring to yes. Cheers erupted from vendors, strangers toasting our vow. Wedding planning infused joy. Small ceremony on Cannon Beach, guests eclectic tribe, queer kin, eco-warriors, Mira as efficient. Vows exchanged at sunset, waves crashing applause. Jordan's, I choose you. Every day, echoing looped pleas. Honeymoon in the Cascades, cabin nestled in evergreens, days hiking ridges, nights by firelight, bodies entwined in unyielding now. Return thrust us into tempest. Appeal hearing loomed. Harlan's lawyer subpoenaed our sessions, claiming mental instability. Jordan raged in the car, fists on dash. They can't touch us. But fear coiled. Loop's legacy, where truth was weaponized. I confronted it head-on, testifying unbowed. Love isn't delusion. It's the courage to break cycles. Courtroom hushed. Judge denied the appeal. Harlan's face crumpling defeat. Fall brought bounty. App's full launch. Accolades pouring. Forbes feature on Love in the Code. We adopted a rescue dog. A scruffy mutt named Echo. Symbol of resilience. Yet in quiet nights, Jordan's restlessness surfaced. Stares at ceiling. Whispers of, what if the loop was easier? Heart ached. I held him, murmuring, easier's not real. This is. Thanksgiving gathered us with his family again, tensions eased by pie and progress. His mother pulled me aside. You saved my boy. Twice over. Tears shared, belonging bloomed. As snow dusted the city, we stood on our balcony, Echo at feet. City lights a constellation of conquered dark. Love's lesson etched deep. Not absence of pain, but presence through it. Humanity in the hide-and-seek of hearts. Year 1 post-loop crystallized into a mosaic of milestones and mirages. Portland's seasons cycling like breaths we'd reclaimed. Jordan and I, married now in the eyes of law and love, woke to routines etched with intention. My designs fueling his visions, our loft a canvas of collaged lives, framed sketches beside server prototypes, Echo's toys under coffee tables scarred by passion. At 30, birthdays marked my emergence. Jordan blindfolding me for a surprise party in the Pearl. Queer friends toasting to breaking free, cake smeared in laughter kisses. His 29th followed, a quiet hike in the gorge, wildflowers crowning his hair as I vowed eternal loops of joy. The app, rechristened EchoNet, exploded, users weaving global tapestries of green action and romance. We keynoted at South by Southwest. Austin's heat a stark contrast to our drizzle roots, stage lights hot as spotlights on our intertwined hands. Love powers change, Jordan declared, my visuals blooming behind. Animated hearts pulsing with carbon offsets. Backlash lingered, trolls doxing, threats echoing Harlan's blade. Security shadowed us, but Jordan's quip, haters are just looped in denial, defused fear. Intimacy evolved, deeper waters. Tantric workshops and yoga studios, where breath synced to touch, unraveling knots from past silences. Nights, we'd role-play loops, me confessing over dinner, him realizing with feigned shock, dissolving to giggles and gasps. But shadows stirred. Anniversary neared, Seattle calling like siren. We returned, market visit a pilgrimage. Under the same awning, Jordan recreated the proposal, but I flipped script. You've realized my truth. Now mine. I had doubts too. Fear you'd outgrow this small-town heart. His eyes softened, kiss sealing absolution. Gala invite arrived. EchoNet sponsor, tempting fate. One loop-free dance, he teased. We went ballroom aglow, no knives in sight. Yet a face from past. Lena, reinvented as consultant, glass raised in truce. You won, she said, voice stripped bare. Happily. I nodded. She smiled, ghost exorcised. Summer swelled with expansion. Tokyo trip for partnerships. Neon streets blurring to Portland rain. Jet-lagged love in Ryokans. Tatami mats cradling us. Cherry whispers of forever. Home. Fertility talks surfaced. Surrogacy dreams. Names brainstormed over wine. A kid with your fire, Jordan mused, hand on my belly. Hope fluttered, vulnerable. Autumn's harvest soured with crisis. Cyberattack on EchoNet, data breached. Users' stories exposed. Panic surged. Echoes of violated trusts. Jordan isolated, coding marathons, leaving me adrift. Fix it alone. I challenged, voice steel. He crumbled, admitting, scared I'll fail us. We rebuilt together, transparent patches, community forums, turning breach to bond, users rallying fiercer. Winter whispered loss. Mira announced retirement. Our last session, a farewell. You've looped to light, she said, hugging tight. Grief mingled with growth. We sought new therapists, Elias, a burly bear with insights sharp as axes. Sessions unearthed Jordan's core wound. Father's disapproval, Loop's mirroring paternal rejection. I had to prove worthy, he confessed. My tears baptized it. You're worthy of chaos and calm. Spring bloomed family. His sister visited, niece toddling chaos, igniting paternal sparks. We hosted barbecues, grill smoke curling stories, Oregon boyhoods retold sans shame. Pride again, floats rainbow-drenched. Our kiss on stage met roars, not whispers. But midsummer storm, investor pullout, board coup whispers. Jordan spiraled, late nights blurring to dawn arguments. We rushed, marriage app all, he snapped. Hurt lanced. I packed a bag, crashing at a friend's. Separation's chill clawed. Loop's dread amplified, convinced reset loomed. Days blurred texts. Come home. I did, door opening to knees and pleas. Hid my fear of losing control. Forgiveness in embraces, vowing communications alter. Fall fortified. EchoNet stabilized, awards gleaming shelf. We volunteered, mentoring queer youth in code camps, faces lighting like our first dawn. One kid, trans teen with dreams big as glitches, mirrored my hidden youth. Thanks for showing it's possible, he said. Jordan squeezed my hand. Value crystallized. Love as legacy. Winter's Eve, balcony vigil. Snowflakes dancing, echo yipping joy. To truths revealed, Jordan toasted. Mug warm, heart warmer. No loops, only laps of grace. 2 years unfurled like a banner of battled graces. Portland's pulse syncing with ours. River currents carrying echoes of growth. Jordan and I, woven tighter than vows, marked anniversaries with rituals. Annual Seattle pilgrimage. Market coffee toasting origins, then coastal vows renewed on salt winds. At 31, my career crested. Solo exhibit in a Pearl Gallery. Designs pulsing queer futurism. Jordan's pride beaming brighter than spotlights. His 30th, surprise road trip to Crater Lake. Midnight stargazing where he whispered, "You're my constellation." EchoNet matured. An ecosystem thriving. Partnerships with indigenous stewards. Features tracking love's carbon footprint. We authored a TED Talk, stage shared, words interlacing. Loops teach us love's not linear. It's relentless return. Applause thundered, but Q&A pierced. Regrets on coming out? Jordan, only hiding longer. Backlash ebbed to murmurs, allies multiplying. Intimacy's palette deepened. Kink explorations in trusted spaces. Silk ropes binding trust. Whispers of surrender echoing looped releases. Vacations to Provincetown, Cape's queer haven. Beaches bronzing skin. Nights in drag bars laughing till dawn. Home, surrogacy advanced. Matches vetted, a woman named Kai. Artists like me, bonding over sketches. Ultrasound's first heartbeat. Ours, a symphony swelling chess. Yet tempests brewed. Board ousted a detractor. But Jordan's burnout flickered. Sleepless, irascible. Carrying the world, he'd mutter. Elias urged boundaries. I enforced, unplugging him for cabin weekends, axes splitting wood as metaphors for cleaved doubts. One eve, fire crackling, he broke. Hit exhaustion, scared you'd see weakness. I knelt, strengths in sharing load. Lovemaking followed, tender fury. Summer's heat wave amplified. Wildfire smoke choking skies. EchoNet deploying alerts, saving evacuations. Heroism hailed, but personal toll. Kai's stress miscarriage scare. Our vigil in sterile halls, hands clasped prayers. Loss's shadow loomed, but resolve hardened. We'll try again. Love persists. Fall harvested surrogacy success. New match. Journey restarting with cautious joy. Family expanded. Jordan's parents visited. Awkward thawing to embraces. Father admitting. Proud of the man you love. Holidays healed. Tables laden stories, sand silences. Winter whispered ambition's edge. Jordanite expansion to Berlin, global hub. Kulme. Excitement, ward reluctance. My roots in Portland soil. Talks stretched, fears bared. Hid wanderlust, scared it'd loop us apart. Compromise. Trial year abroad. Loft sublet. Packing stirred nostalgia. Boxes of sketches, relics of loops. Spring bloomed farewells. Gallery show sold out. Pride speech on resilience, rippling ripples. Berlin beckoned. U-Bahn humming new rhythms. Our flat, overlooking spree. Graffiti walls inspiring designs. EchoNet localized. German users weaving tales. Nights, currywurst dates, dissolving to passion on wool rugs. But distances drag surfaced. Time zones fraying calls, my freelance isolating in Portland limbo. Visit bridged, me flying east, reunion in airport arms fevered. Hid loneliness, he confessed over schnitzel. Me too. Decision. Full relocation, love's gravity pulling. Summer in Berlin. Christopher Street Day parades, rainbows riding Rhine. Surrogacy news. Pregnancy confirmed, Kai's glow beaming screens. Joy exploded. Names, river for boy, sage for girl. False foliage mirrored transitions. EchoNet's IPO whispers, Jordan's nerves electric. I anchored, mock pitches over beer gardens. Launch day, screens aglow success, confetti our kiss. Winter's solstice, Kai birthed twins, healthy, howling life. We flew home, hospital arms cradling miracles, names etched hearts. Fatherhood's loop, sleepless feeds, first smiles eclipsing past pains. Back in Portland, loft alive coups, EchoNet board yielding to paternity. Diaper, changes dissolve to dawn cuddles. Jordan's we made this, awestruck. Challenges, colic nights, judgment from strangers. Two dads? Bold. But unity prevailed, love's value in tiny fists gripping fingers. As snow fell, family complete, we reflected. From loop solitary to communal dawn. Truth's revelation. Love hides to protect, reveals to propagate. 5 years post-loop. Our tapestry rich with threads of triumph and temper. Portland's evergreens, a verdant archive of us. Jordan and I, parents to rambunctious 4-year-olds River and Sage. Tousled curls and relentless curiosity. Navigated chaos with choreography honed by love's forge. At 34, my studio thrived, murals adorning city bridges, queer icons in bold strokes. Jordan, 33, stepped back from EchoNet's helm, mentoring from shadows, green eyes softened by fatherhood's gaze. Mornings, tandem breakfasts, pancakes flipping to giggles, twins smearing syrup masterpieces. Echo guarded flanks, herding tots with maternal gruff. Days split, me to canvas, him to calls, reconverging evenings in park picnics, Willamette ducks quacking approval. Intimacy adapted, stolen showers post-bedtimes, quicksilver touches amid laundry piles, deeper still in anniversary getaways. Coastal cabins where kids napped with Kai, our bodies reclaiming wild abandon. EchoNet, global now, impacting millions, carbon dips charted, romances sparked across divides. We keynote UN panels, hands linked on world stages. Love loops us back to humanity's core. Backlash, faded scars, trolls muted by tide of acceptance. Challenges evolved. Twins preschool queries, why two dads? Met honest tales, age softened. Love comes in colors like rainbows. Jordan's wanderlust resurfaced. Sabbatical in New Zealand, eco-villages calling. Family adventure, debate brewed, fears of loops isolation. Compromise, summer immersion, Portland anchor. Kiwi Hills taught resilience. Hikes with tots on backs, Maori welcomes weaving us in. Fall homecoming, harvest festivals, twins first school plays, river as tree, sage as wind. Our applause thunderous. But shadow fell. Health scare, Jordan's routine check flagging arrhythmia. echo of loop deaths. Hospital vigil, monitors beeping taunts, my hand in his not again. Benign, treatable, but terror unearthed buried blades. Therapy with Elias resumed. Family sessions. Fear loops when unvoiced. Twins drew strong hearts. Crayons healing. Winter's hush birthed philanthropy. EchoNet Foundation. Grant for queer youth startups. We mentored prodigies. One teen echoing my hidden youth. Coding sustainable apps from closets. You show me out, he said. Jordan teared. Pay it forward. Spring swelled. Twins' birthday bash. Backyard riot of balloons and beloveds. Kai joined. Chosen family bond ironclad. Pride parade. Tots on shoulders waving flags. Our kiss amid floats a beacon. Summer scorched growth. Jordan's book deal. Looped love. Breaking cycles in tech and heart. Ghost-ridden with my flourishes. Bestseller charts. Tours pulled us coast to coast, but homecoming's sweeter. Tiny arms tackling knees. Fall's equinox. Reflection retreat. Cannon beach cabin. Kids with grandparents. Alone, we renewed vows on sand. Waves washing doubts. Hid nothing now, Jordan vowed. All truths, always. Winter solstice. Family ritual. Lanterns lit for lost loops. Released on river. Flames dancing freedom. Twins watched awed. Magic, daddies? Love's kind, I whispered. Decades cusp dawned. Us, silver-threaded, twins, kindergarten-bound. EchoNet's legacy. Earth greener, hearts bolder. Storms? Sure. Tantrums, boardroom battles, but calm's art mastered. Balcony vigil, city aglow, Jordan's arm around me. Tots asleep within. From trap to truth, he murmured. I smiled. An every day since chosen. Love's arc, not endpoint, but eternal loop of grace, grit, giving. In hiding's end, humanity's bloom. We rise, revealed, relentless.